last week actually we have started with the elaborations. So today we are going to see like how we can go for the grooming or elaboration sessions. Actually, how we can go for uh, get an arrangement with the different parties. So for that actually Pega's best practices says that we should go for there are what are the goals we need to set it before, and they divided into a 5-stage process, and what are the different sessions types onto that grooming and ablation sessions. We'll see that, and what the role and responsibility for different participants of the grooming onto that. Okay. So if you can see the main episode for elaboration and grooming is the main thing is that we need to make all the requirements and the objectives which we have uh, that need to be converted to a working prototype, and all the specifications are actually designed into the during the grooming sessions. So all the UI mockups, flow mockups, and all are actually in design into that. And all your business people and your technical design team or project team are in agreement, and there are no confusion or no gaps is between that. So that's the main objectives of the grooming and elaboration phase. And within that, we can have uh, different stakeholders who have actually different knowledge, different experience. Someone may be an approval authority who is going to be approved the design and approve the mockups and everything. So there will be different type of the people is required for different things onto that. So in a grooming or elaboration sessions, we can have a process owners, moderator, business architect, system architect, and there will be other team can be involved from someone from IT, someone from the testing, and some of the subject matter experts as well can be part of the grooming sessions. So the grooming sessions actually like it is actually if you say it should be a collaborative and iterative approach. So because actually like we can't do alone the design because we don't have the every knowledge cannot be with a single person. So it should be a collaborative one, and we need actually like the feedbacks. Actually when we design for the first time, we need to play back that scene, and we need to get the feedback, and once again the gap or whatever the things, the parking lots need to be discussed again, need to be come up with a new model, and after the changes again we need to get the feedback, and finally like if everything is fine, we'll get the approved prototype or approved design documents from the batch. So it's a collaborative and design approach is followed into the grooming sessions. So this is the Pega's flowchart for how you can go for elaboration and grooming sessions. So initially, when we want to go for elaboration and grooming sessions, actually we need to check for that preparation stage. So there is the first stage, actually you can say, we call this all till prepare mockups. We can say that, I'm sorry, is the preparation stage, and then we have the conduct stage, and then the conduct stage we have then end of the sessions, and then conduct playback, and finally like approved sessions. So there are the different 5 stages is available, and in future classes we are going to see all the classes as well, like what we're going to do in each stage, what are the best practices says about for each of the sessions, what we do before grooming sessions, what we should do inside of the grooming sessions, what are the different challenges, what are the best practices, what are the end of the sessions we should do, how we should capture the parking lots, how we should go for playbacks, how we should go for approval. So everything will be covered onto that. So if you see, when we start it, we need to plan for the sessions and how sessions we are going to schedule it, who will going to part of the sessions, all the stakeholders, all the IT teams, or in, so we need to take out during the schedule. We need to plan for the same when we are going to conduct. So if everyone is available or not. So all that we need to discuss and individually and then send the sessions invite for the same. And then actually like the initial artifacts basically will be the requirement document and the vision document. So that will be, if all the requirements are clear, then actually we can see that the artifacts are clear. We can start our grooming sessions for the same. If any confusions or any gaps is still there, then we should clear that before starting the grooming sessions. So once actually like artifacts are clear, we should go for the mockups. Actually UI mockup, flow, process flow mockup or use case and all other stuffs will be part of the mockups onto that. And then during the preparation or the conduct session, we are going to get the feedback, how it should be, when it should be like that. All that will be getting discussed. We will get the feedback, and then someone will be actually in the depend on the type of the session, we are going to capture that requirement in the Pega itself. So that's again one of the grooming sessions part of it. And finally, like we should play back the sessions. Okay, this is the way we want to design our application. This will be look like this. The UI will be like that. The flow will be moved in this way. All will be going to conduct that. And finally, you will be get the approved specification. So and then we're going to conduct the construction, or actually the build can be start after that.
Mukesh, what is this mockups? What do you mean?
Actually, like before of the starting of the preparation stage, you have created some mockups, the UI mockups or the flow mockups. Actually, the flow how should it be like that one, so that we can explain the users. Actually, all the stakeholders can be so. So if you have just requirements, so that requirements nobody will going to understand directly from that. So if you say you have some existing model, so from that existing model you want to convert to a new model, so you have some mockups for the same. So if you say previous screen looks like in that way, so you want to convert into a new look and feel of it, so you can prepare some mockups before you hand onto that.
Oh, you mean basically just give them a sample, how it looks and all that,
Yes,
using an
right,
existing.
right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. The session prep means pre preparing for the requirement meeting, gathering meetings and all that?
Yes, actually like before starting of the elaboration and grooming sessions, we can have kickoff meetings so that actually all the artifacts are ready and all the stakeholders are actually know actually what we are going to do, so that during the elaboration and grooming stage, mainly like elaboration and grooming stage is the design phase. You can say the design of your requirements and everything. So you are going to design that during the workshops itself. So for that actually we can say that like what is the role and responsibility each one is going to play during the elaboration and grooming phase. So that actually we do prepare the preparation stage.
Okay.
So that's actually like the overall view of the elaboration and grooming phase. So the sessions are actually like based on the availability and uh, the constraint of different things. It's defined the different session styles. So what are the different three session styles are there? So that we call as prep and review style, real-time capture style, and real-time whiteboard style. Okay. So if you see, we are going to work with some SMEs who actually has the only knowledge and he is not available most of the time. So he cannot, we cannot plan his time. So he say that, okay, he might be busy in some time, he might not available on that time and all the resources are not available. So in that time actually we cannot get the exact mean. So in that time actually what we do actually we do go for real-time capture style. So we can organize for actually specific time to him so that only a business architect can contact with the SMEs and get the requirements and everything from him. And once actually like during the meeting, either he can go for in like directly he can, if you have a laptop, he can create the artifacts in Pega itself during the meeting time, and he can show that this is actually we want, and artifacts can be reviewed onto that. So this is actually in the prep and review, everything is planned, we have sufficient time, and we will have actually all the artifacts ready and all the resources are there. Then we can go for the prep and review one. So depend on to the time requirement, we can go for real-time capture style.
So Mukesh, you're saying that artifacts approval will be happening in that meeting itself or later on?
Yes, in the meeting itself.
Oh, okay.
So it's not just actually one time. Actually, it can be like I told. Actually, if it's a new project, it can go for 1 month. Actually, you can have sessions in multiple. Yeah, it's not that actually like in one go you are going to get the approval itself. So one session should be maximum of 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the 4 hours, I think actually we can go for multiple rounds of that onto that. It's not that okay, we just go for only one session in all the things are final.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the whiteboard, actually we don't capture directly the requirements in Pega, and if during the we have only the whiteboard sessions, everything will be in the whiteboard session, and everybody will be going to contribute into the comments, and everything will be going to the whiteboard sessions, and someone will be going to pick that up, and after the post meeting, they are going to upload that artifacts in Pega environment, and then from that we can have an approval sessions later. So from that post meeting we go for that. So depending on to that, so this is the different criteria which session we should go for in which time. So independent on the prep and review, real time and real time capture. So it say that okay, the SMEs which is actually we have is actually like it's only available full time. So we can go for directly capture him. So full time, actually we can go for real time whiteboard or real time capture. So if it's not available, so we can plan for his time so that we can track it onto that. So if the session team is not available in one place, so they are actually in different places. So we need to plan for the sessions on the time. So we go for prep and review. If actually everyone is in same place, we can go for whiteboard or real time capture as well. And if actually if you say grooming skills are they are experts, so already they know all the bits, so we can go for real-time capture or whiteboard onto that. If they actually like everyone doesn't have the sufficient knowledge, then actually we have to get the knowledge for everyone so that the knowledge can be come onto that. So then we need the prep and review mode. So if you say we have more complex integration, so we need to do the prep and review only. And if it is less complex, and then we can directly capture in whiteboard or real time onto that. And if it is related to different decisions, so if you say different decision authorities are involved and we need to integrate with everyone, then actually it will be a prep and review one. So if we just need 1 or 2 approvals, then we can go for on the spot, like real time capture itself. So that's actually again depend on the methodology. Also we can say if it is waterfall, we normally go with the prep and review one, and if it is agile one, we can go with Scrum. And actually it is the timeline. So that is already told. Actually there is, if it's we are flexible with the time, we can go for prep and review, and otherwise we can go for real time itself. So this is the different criteria when we need to look for how we can go for which sessions we should plan for it. Okay. So this is actually when we can see in the prep and review, we organize the meeting. Okay, this is actually, we can say this is the 5 stage of your grooming sessions. So if you say these 2 actually we mainly do in the preparations, and during the meeting we review the same and we play back the time and we get the approval during the meeting itself. So in the prep and review we do in that way, and in the real time whiteboard, in the preparation we go for organize the meeting and we review the same beforehand, and then we go for in the meeting it depends now whiteboard sessions, and in the real time actually in the post meeting we create artifacts in the Pega, and then we go for approvals onto that. But in real time actually we organize the meeting with the SMEs, we directly review on that time, and we created artifacts in Pega on that time, and then actually we go for the approvals onto that one. So there's the two difference. We can see the difference between the different session style.
So basically in real-time capture and in the prep and review, no, not prep and review, I think. Real-time time capture, we are right there itself, we are opening up again, putting up.
Yes, right. Yeah.
And the whiteboard also we are doing the same, or we are doing it that
No,
same?
in whiteboard actually in the post meeting you can see this side. You can see here. So if you say post meeting, we are going to update in Pega later. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, but anyway, actually, end of the theme, actually, depend on different styles. We are going to create the artifacts. So what are the different artifacts? It's like the specification and design is agreement between the design and everyone. So that's the main approach onto that. So the your design, mockups, and everything will be the final of each sessions. So that will be the same.
Can you say that again, Mukesh? What was that you said? The finalizing, I mean the getting the approval and finalizing the artifacts, that's what you said?
Yeah, no. Actually, I was saying that at end of each session, actually the way it is working is different, but finally what actually the approach of the elaboration and grooming is that we need to get the approved prototype.
Oh,
what
okay.
are the approved specifications and approved specifications, and all the requirements and are matched between the business stakeholders and the technical persons. So that's the final outcome of the irrespective of the sessions.
Okay. In these three different approaches, like all the team members will be there, right? Not just the business architects alone. Like
yes, that's right. Yeah, it will be all sessions. Actually, all will be available.
Okay. Technical plus testing plus everybody. Okay.
Yes. Until different stakeholders will be there. So you can see this is like the different people will be there: moderator, process owners, like subject matter experts, system architect, business architects, and QA and IT representative. So in some time actually it's one of the role is not there, so someone else will going to play in that one. So he might not have the authority. So Pega's actually best practice provide that also, like if someone is not there, how we can go for the same. So that actually also we'll see what are the challenges are there in these sessions and how we can tackle that as a best practice of Pega. Okay. So this is still, if you see the responsibilities wise, so when we conducting the sessions, so we should before the session we set the expectations. What is actually like we are expecting from the grooming sessions. So there should be a moderator, and we should not divert and all this onto that. So that's starting of the grooming session. We should set the expectation what we are looking for from these grooming sessions. And we should actually, like one more thing is the organization of the, like if you say you have 100 requirements, so that 100 requirements can be, okay, 10 are related to one of them and another 10 are related to another things. So that can be divided into the related parts. So that actually we can say that specification sets onto that. So that actually we can start with one specification set at once, so that we will not diverge with the different requirements at all. So that we need to organize some of the in the responsibility of the BA as well onto that. So he mainly like do that part, so he can categorize the requirements into different sets. And we need to identify, okay, this is the one flow, so who is going to take care of that flow? So that actually also we need to take the responsibility, we need to identify who is going to take care of the ownership of that specification set as well.
This 30 to 60 minutes is for what? Setting the expectation?
Actually, like it's about the background. Actually, what actually the project is all about, what actually we are going to do, and what is the expectation out of the grooming sessions. So that actually we going to do that one. So that is normally like before the preparation stage, we go for the kickoff meetings. So actually, like we say, we can go for the kickoff meetings. So there actually we are going to do that 30 to 60 minutes onto that one.
So basically, the kickoff meeting is what you're saying, 30 to 60 minutes.
Yes, that's right. Okay. So if you see, this is actually like the role of different people during the grooming and elaboration sessions. So the moderator will be on the sessions, and actually he's going to control the session. Actually, we are not diverting onto the different discussion at all. So if you say something in between, we started discussing something on. So the moderator is going to play the role. So we are stick to the point and will not divert. And SMEs and the process owners are there. Actually, they are the actual business expertise. They have the domain knowledge, so they will tell you about like how it should be, what is the requirement, and how it should be behave onto that. And they may be the authorities as well. So they are actually finally going to be the sign off or approval will be provided by the SMEs and process owners. And system architects is going to implement the specifications. So sometimes it's required. So he should understand what is the specification. We should go to that. And the main role is the business architect. He is going to capture any new requirements or any new improvements is came up, and he's going to create the specifications, and he's actually going to plan for the sessions as well. And from the testing team, they are going to create the test plans onto that, if any actually functional or non-functional requirement. And IT representative actually if it actually we need to understand the if it is how it's going to relate with the other systems, if the infrastructure is ready or not, or we need any others part of it, then might we need the IT representative to understand the same.
So you mean that is what system architect does, right?
No, this is actually infrastructure wise. It's not about implementation wise. This is actually like you can roll up infrastructures.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you need different servers, right, you do need to do load balancing, administration, hardware part of it. So that will be taken care by the IT part.
Okay.
Hardware, yes.
So then what is system architect? System architect is doing the...
System architect will going to implement, right? He is going to create the rules, like what is the decision logic, what is the validation, how the UI will look and feel. So he's going to format the things.
Okay, for this project.
Yeah, for this project, yes.
Okay, so IT rep is just like a person there who is just kind of giving you any issues can be coming up.
Actually, hardware part of it, like hardware and it's like connectivity, all that part actually will be required for the same.
Can you say that again, Mukesh? I think the volume was breaking.
Actually, IT representative actually like who is actually, if you say we are going to interact with different integration point of view, right? So we need different hardware where we are going to store the how much different application is required, where actually that is going to integrate with other people, and what is the different, how many load balancing, how you can go for load balancing, how many servers are required, all that different hardware concept may actually come from the IT representative.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically you can see in more detailed way that the roles and everything was in each stage what they are going to do. If you see the IT representative actually is how the new application with the existing infrastructure. So the main role is about that is the infrastructure wise they are going to play. So we say that the role is more in a proper way, it's given onto that. So in each session what they are going to do. So this is actually, I think we have already discussed some of them. So we'll see this one actually in each stage. We're going to see this again and again. So I'm just keeping this one now. Okay. So now actually we come back to the preparation stage. So what are the things we are going to do into the preparation stage? So that's actually initially introductions about the elaboration and grooming. So now we are going to start with the preparation stage. What are the things we are going to do in the preparation stage? So we need to understand what is the main benefits out of the grooming sessions, what are the activities we are going to do into that, and what are the different roles each person is going to play into that preparation stage. And then finally we're going to see what are the best practices for the preparation stage. Okay. So first actually we can see the activities wise, we need to first identify which session type we are going to conduct our grooming session. So if you want to go for prep and review, or we go for real-time dashboard, or we want to go for real-time capture. So it depends on to the different criteria. We need to going for the what session type we are going to conduct. And then the team members, so we need to inform them, and if say actually before the grooming session, if they need any trainings, then we need to provide the trainings to the team members as well, or different stakeholders which are going to be participate onto the grooming session. We need to inform about that. And then the setting expectations, so that actually we see that one before itself, what are the setting expectations, we need to set the agendas and everything, what they actually, the role and responsibility they are going to play. So we'll set the expectation onto that. And then we need to plan for the session, when we are going to conduct it, and the sessions invite need to be sent to the that all the team members. And then actually we like already told that the complete requirement can be converted into different specification sets, and then we can identify owners of each of the workflows separately. And finally, whatever the available documents is available, we need to review that. Is that sufficient for the start the elaboration on grooming or not? Or if not, then we need to update the documents and start with the draft artifacts. Okay. So if actually in a project we can have multiple BAs, so one of the BA can role play as the lead BA. Same with the essays, we can have multiple group of essays are there, so they can go for a lead essays onto that as well. So mainly, like if you can see, they are the main active players into the preparation stage. So they will be going to do the play of the preparation and preparing the artifacts of that. Okay, so that is the same thing. Actually, we need to decide the session type. We need to educate the team members. We need to identify the process owners and who is going to be the SMEs, and prepare the schedules and send the invitation and review the artifacts. So that's the main we are going to, the activities wise we need to going to perform onto that.
So Mukesh, I have a question. If you are, suppose I'm going to an automotive industry, I don't know anything about the business. How does that work when you go into a meeting? I mean, they are expecting a lot of things from a business architect, right?
Yes, right. So that's actually, we say educate team members. We need to actually beforehand going into that one, we need to get the domain knowledge, and we plan for the trainings onto the domain part, business knowledge.
No, but educate team members means who is educating who? I think it is the business architect needs to educate the other members, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So nobody is going to educate the business architect.
Yeah, then he needs to go with actually, okay, then yeah, then need to conduct with the SME separately and get the knowledge and the business from the SMEs.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. SMEs and process owners would be actually explaining the whole thing, right? Like
Yeah,
they should be the main point of contact in terms of.
contact. So someone from the business, actually like they are going to conduct the sessions for the educating that one. It may be like business architect or other team members as well.
So that I'm maybe that's a gray area for me. Like kind of, I know this. I understand the SME role. I understand that, but then the business architect, what like if the business user and the SME is explaining everything, the business basically what they're looking for in an application.
Yeah, so I think in the explained that he said business architect are responsible for capturing the requirements and ownership of the specifications. Somewhere it was mentioned very clearly.
Yeah, if you can see it's in here. Yeah. So they actually they review the specification, gain concession to the 2B process, develop open questions, act as liaison for customer training.
Develop open questions.
Yeah, actually if there is any gaps or anything, so he is going to do the parking lots or any queries or anything that will be like the open questions. So if say actually if you want to not capture into the, so someone say like if it's not there, so that will be an open question that can be discussed onto the future sessions onto that or follow-up sessions. So that he is going to capture that in a separate sheets.
Okay, and then this is during the grooming kind of thing, and
Yes.
after that, so after the initial grooming, the SME and business user explains everything. The business architect captures it, takes the ownership of it. Then he goes back to his desk and he puts all
so
these
this is
requirements
actually during the, so this is the preparation stage. So this is actually, if you can see, this is the preparation stage. During the conduct phase, so he is going to provide the decisive feedback. So actually like, okay, that should be done in that way. So he should provide the, what can be like acceptable to everyone. And the scope, actually like what is the scope, only he is going to drive that one, because if we are going ahead or like diverting from the actual meeting or scope, he's going to drive that meeting as well. So he can maybe conduct with the moderator and can see actually we can do that, and all the clarifications on the business requirement. So he can follow up on that one as well. So that actually apart from that, he's going to like start with the specifications. So that all the parking lots. So that is the follow-up sessions. So all the parking lots item need to be assigned to him. So he will be followed up, and the specification will be refined onto that. And during the playback sessions, we'll get the complete prototype on the visual representation of the prototype.
So from what you're suggesting or explaining, it sounds like business architect has the business analyst role plus a scrum master role.
Sorry?
I mean, the business architect is kind of a hybrid of business analyst and scrum master.
No, actually it's not. That's the role of moderator. We have the moderator as well.
Okay.
So there will be separate moderator for that. Scrum master will be separate.
So moderator is the scrum master.
Yes, moderator is the scrum master.
Okay.
So he is going to lead the session, and he is going to like conduct like onto that best practices and diverting onto that. So actually, might he don't know about the actual things actually what we are discussing. So business architect will going to help the moderator if something we are diverting from the scope. So that's actually like we can see same thing. We have that scope is for everyone. Like in this also we have, and the same actually drive towards the scope is there in the same role. So some of the time actually like moderator doesn't know if we are going diverting or not, so he can play that role as well on that time.
Okay.
So Mukesh, even before the grooming elaboration, we would have, as a business, already structured the specifications, right?
Yes.
Only then, even the basic prototype we would have created, whatever you showed, like the process flow, UI, and then only we start with the grooming elaboration process.
Yes, right. So this is the prep stage. Actually, like if you see the first is the prep stage. So there actually we are creating the draft artifacts. And the
Okay.
session we are going to like provide the draft artifact. So this is the draft prepare, and then we're going to get the feedbacks from everyone about that draft one, and then we can uh, update that draft UI and refine the same to get the actual or approved prototype.
So that means the prep stage takes about a month because we are going to be specifications, right?
Yeah, prep, yes. It is actually like elaboration, actually that all the things which is mentioned, not mentioned about the kickoff meeting. Actually that will be separate one. Yeah, preparation stage is not mentioned onto that. Other sessions,
Okay.
yeah, prep stage is different from the actual session. So that might take more than 1 month. Yeah, separately we can take the prep stage separately.
So what was Megha's question? Her voice was breaking up.
Yeah, actually I heard actually half of them, but I answered that.
Oh, you're also hearing. Okay, I thought you're hearing it clearly. Okay.
No, no, no. I also actually I got half of that, so I just
Yeah, you understood the
clocked it.
question. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Priyanka, you can save your questions once again. Yeah.
Yeah, my question was prep stage basically talks about capturing the requirement specifications and then reviewing it, right? Basically preparing the artifacts for the actual grooming elaboration session. So I asked him the prep stage might take more than a month for it to actually, for all this to be done. So he said most of it would be covered already in the kickoff meeting. So anything before that would not be in the prep stage. And most of it would be covered in the prep stage is left in the kickoff meeting.
Yeah.
So we will be reviewing everything in the prep stage rather than actually capturing the
No, no, no,
requirements.
no. No,
Did
actually,
I?
yeah, that's right. In the prep stage, actually, we review that, okay, it's ready for the session. Actually, like, we can start with the, like in the session, actually, like, where actually in kickoff meeting, everyone will might not be involved. Actually, in kickoff, actually, we can go for, like, we can say, only SMEs and SAs and B are involved. All others are not involved into that in the prep stage, so that the artifacts can be ready and can be reviewed between them, and then with a wider organization we can involve other people as well in the like conduct stage.
You're talking in the prep stage.
Yes. So this is about the frequency. What's the role of a BA in the prep stage? So normally he is going to define the workflows, the user view requirement, and actually like the information we got actually from that, okay, the information is sufficient or not. So if you see sometimes it happened that in the prep stage we are not getting the enough information. So in that scenario, actually we need to decide the sessions type, so that if you have the sufficient knowledge or sufficient not knowledge. So if you want to get that bit, so if you want to start our prep stage, we can go for real-time capture. So he can just directly connect with the SMEs and get the details, and then finally, like once the requirement is finalized, we can go for the conduct stage directly. So that's like depend on to the information we got, and we have the artifact with us. Based on that, also we define the what session style we are going to use that. So in the prep stage, mainly like we can have the some of the kickoff meetings. So there actually we define what role is everyone is going to play, and we plan the things and assign the task as well.
Oh, assigning the task and all that is also done in prep stage.
In the kickoff meetings, actually, no,
Okay,
actually it's
task.
about preparing the specification, right? Actually, we say you need to create, someone need to provide the draft UI, or someone need to prepare the draft flows. So this is actually about the preparation of the documents, actually preparation of the actual, you are getting ready for the session conduct stage. So in that, you are going to assign some of the tasks in the kickoff meeting. It's not
Oh,
about
like action items, you can say, oh, you know, you need to get this thing done, you know, bring it over for tomorrow's meeting, we need this from you, that kind of.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So actually, like if you say that will be in the wider organization wise, so there will be multiple people will be involved, and if they are ready beforehand, it will be help. Actually, the kickoff meetings will be help on to better conduct, and will get the better output from the conduct stage.
Okay. But when you say tasks, it's not kind of not the task from sprints, right? No, not from
No,
the.
no. It's not about that task. Yes, it's actually like what's the role they are going to perform during the conduct stage, and
Okay.
what are the things which they need to prepare and bring that during the conduct stage. So that the task is there about.
Okay.
So all this actually it's in the prep stage. He need to, what are the different roles, and they in the prep stage they need to bring all this. So as a BA, he going to go to the all the requirements and the of regions, and then go for the draft specifications, and if that can be reviewed with the SMEs as well, and if there is any questions which is actually coming up which is not clear, so he can raise the queries, and what should be the to be process, so there will be any draft model or draft UI will be there, so that will be the prep stage. We are going to do that, and if it's required any training, so he can going to liaise with the business trainings or any domain training that can be done that way. So that's the main role of a BA into the prep stage, and other roles are also for the test lead. So he's going to prepare the test plan. System architect is going to prepare the draft life cycles and different user views modeling as well. Okay. Yeah. So that's okay. So during that, actually, in how we are going to plan for the kickoff meetings as well. So that actually we have already discussed, like how we can go for the planning and the logistic wise. Actually, we convert our different requirements into the different sets. So we break down into the different categories onto that, and we need to take the actually who is available, who is not available, and we need to coordinate with each of the participants before scheduling the sessions. And then we go for the follow-up meetings with the meeting invitations and all. And also, if you see where we are going to conduct the meeting, all the features and all the facilities are there or not. So that also we need to take care on that one into the kickoff planning session. And once actually kickoff meeting is done, so all the tasks we need to finalize who is going to do what, and so mainly in that sessions, SMEs actually plays the major role because he knows all the steps and all the processes into the. So if any confusions, any clarification, updates, deletion, addition, so that we need to confirm with the SMEs during the kickoff sessions. And we should get the conscious concession that is actually they are all in agreements between that. So this is the final one. Actually, in the preparation stage, we decide the session type, we decide the process owners, we decide the when we are going to conduct that, we send the invites, and we prepare for the artifacts. If there any artifacts is required or are clear, all the requirements are in that one. And finally, like the logistic part, all the sessions, meeting rooms are available, all the facilities are available in the meeting room. If we are kind of coordinating with the different locations, all will be video rooms, or how we can go for the logistic part of it. So that's actually we need to prepare all the things into the preparation stage. And then tomorrow we're going to see the session, how we're going to do the conduct part of it. So tomorrow we're going to see this conduct, what are the things we're going to do during the conduct, the key activities, how we can go for it, which role is responsible for what, and what the best practices out of it.
Yeah, Mukesh.
Yep.
Is there, I mean, just curious, like I've seen some, but I haven't checked it for Pega. Like, is there any videos which shows the sessions? I mean, like, with like just sample, I mean, you know, I know some Agile, Scrum, they have some videos available in Google. If you Google it, like, you know, it shows how the sessions are run, and I like that.
Yeah, actually, okay, tomorrow actually we'll do that one. Actually, these videos are there, like 11-minute videos are there, how they are conducting. But
Pega based, I mean, not.
Yeah, it's Pega based only, like that videos are there. Yeah.
Oh, it is there? Okay.
Yeah, videos are there. So what will, I'm going to, but only I'm thinking that, okay, what I do is actually I'll put a speaker. So sometimes if you're not able to hear the voice properly, so tomorrow we'll do that one. We'll see a 11-minute videos is there. So we'll see that one, how to, they are conducting the complete sessions. It's there in that 11-minute video is there. So I'll show you that out tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. But actually, for that, if you need, if you want to see that one yourself, you need credentials for them. Actually, it will be might not. You will see that in later point of time. But tomorrow only, I will be able to show you that one.
Oh, you need to log in. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, that's not available in a public one. It's actually like within that. One of the paid one, yes, yeah.
Oh, is it a PDN? No, not the PDN.
Within the PDN, there is one of the course is there. Within that, the video is present into that.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's what one like to see how it is they're doing.
Yeah. Yes. So we'll do that one tomorrow.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Yep. So that's it for today. We'll see that the conduct sessions, and we'll see that video as well tomorrow session. So first we will go with the conduct sessions.
Do they have videos for all these different steps here, like proper?
No, actually, I think that the complete videos says no. They don't have videos for everything. Actually, just the conduct session is the video is there.
So that's the session, which is the second step.
Yes. Sessions, there is a video.
Okay.
Yeah. I think actually, like if I'll show it from there, it will be going to capture in that one as well. Okay.
I'm sorry. What's that?
No, nothing.
Oh, you mean it's good? Mm-hmm.
No problem. I think we'll see that like how we can go for that one.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to meet it again. So this is the main thing we do in the preparation stage. What are the different roles they are going to play into the preparation stage? and then we'll see the conduct space, then post sessions and playback. And after that, we're going to see what are the different challenges are when we are going for the grooming and abrasive sessions, and how we can how to tackle that challenges onto that.
Okay.
Yep, that's it for today. So thanks everyone. We'll going to meet again tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks
Thank
everyone.
you. Yep. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.